camera.
Up there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, folks. Raymond Mhor and
Cynthia Mhor.
we're watching the Kilted Prepper live.
Live.
How's everybody doing? So, want to just thank everybody for taking the time to watch our Saturday night live. And it's going to be a rather interesting show. And then also, for all of our wonderful community members who are coming back, thank you for coming back. And all our new members, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified when I post new videos. And so, great evening tonight.
It's going to be fun.
A lot of fun. My wife
going here.
is going to do the comments here and everything. But we've got a pretty good show. How's everybody? Can everybody hear me? Do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up or something like that, or see if you can hear me or not. And, you know, YouTube's kind of funky at times because I don't know if the mic's working or not.
Let me go to YouTube.
Anybody hear me? Anybody? 5x5. Thank you, Brenda, very much. So cool. Tonight, what I wanted to do, so many people have got survival food, but one of the things that a lot of people never do is actually cook with it. And so, or taste it.
Taste them beforehand.
And so, there's a lot of foods out there that are not that great. I am not a fan of Wise. I'm not a fan of Provident Pantry. And I just, bleh. So, hey, Joan, thank you so much. But there's several other brands out there that I am not a fan of. But what I did is Artisan Farms had a sale on their 72-hour kit for like $13 for a one-person 72-hour kit. And so I ordered 2 of those. And then 4 Patriots had a really good sale that I saw on Facebook, and I was also getting it on Instagram, where if you bought 1 bag, you got 2 bags free. So basically, you got 3 bags of 72-hour kits. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to talk about, what we thought, what we think, and how the heck do they taste? And so what I asked all of you is, please tell me what you wanted me to cook. And it seems like the 4 Patriots had the most people wanting to hear that one, and what won out was the 4 Patriots creamy chicken and vegetable dinner.
Yum.
And so what we did is we cooked some of that up, and we have not tasted it. And so, have you tasted it?
No, I'm excited to.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
So
I'm always up for food.
But what's good is that Cynthia is somewhat new to the preparedness.
Yes.
To the preparedness lifestyle.
Yes, very
and so she's never really had hardcore survival food or anything. And so I thought it'd be a good chance to actually get her opinion of what she thought of it. And are you a picky eater?
Never. Do I look like a picky eater? No.
So, but
just don't give me coconut and I'm good.
Yeah. So, hello everyone. Hey Linda, how you doing? Hey Sherry. But so what we thought we'd do is do some live taste tests, and what I want to do is kind of spread it out throughout the show so that our taste buds kind of get a little bit of a break instead of just tasting one after another and everything. So what I've done is I've cooked up the 4 Patriots chicken and rice, creamy chicken rice, or creamy chicken rice with veggie dinner. And I have it just plain out of the bag. Yeah, this one. Yeah, right there. Creamy rice vegetable dinner. So
even though it's showing backwards.
Yeah, no, it'll show actually the right way. It shows
the right way on there.
See, look.
Oh, it is. It's showing the right way on mine.
See.
Sorry.
So so I did that, and I cut the recipe in half, and then I made the other half. So I augmented the other half, and then just cooked the other half just the normal old everyday way. And you're supposed to get 3 meals out of this. But
what did you augment it with? Is it too early
Well,
to
it's
ask
too
that?
early to ask
Okay, I'm
that.
sorry. I won't ask any more questions.
Yeah, keep it
I'm
a
sorry.
surprise.
Shh, don't tell
So,
anybody.
but so it's, I haven't tasted anything or anything like that. And then also for a, super comparison, show me the other bag. What I
Creamy
did,
chicken flavored
creamy chicken flavored rice.
rice.
And this is the Augustin Farms. So we're going to be able to do a
Pretty apples to apples.
side by side comparison. And
Excuse
then
me.
I did the Four Patriots, an augmented one where I added some surprise stuff to it and actually used survival food, because here in the Mhor home, we actually use a lot of our survival food. Cynthia may not know it's survival food, but I cook often with
Well, I
a
know
lot.
you add it to
Yeah.
different foods we have.
So we got that going. And then what I wanted to do is really talk to you about cooking with freeze-dried food, particularly, and then also dehydrated food. A lot of folks out there want to reconstitute the foods, and you really don't have to do that. You'll get a lot more flavor, a lot more taste, and better texture if you don't reconstitute your food, even though a lot of the cans tell you, oh, reconstitute. Now, you may want to reconstitute some of the meat. So, for example, say you're making I think I've got it here.
You said that there are 3 servings in each bag. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 servings in each bag, 72 hours. Wait, 72, 48, 24. What's 72 hours? 3
That's
days.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. So there are
So there'd be-
supposedly 3 servings in this. You possibly could get 3 servings, but I think the serving is here. What they consider a serving 1/3 of a cup dry, or about 1 cup prepared. So a serving is 1 cup prepared. So yeah, I mean, would that be something that you could live off of and everything?
You could live off of it, but
It's an emergency, food and everything. But I was saying, talking about reconstituting stuff. Some of the things that you may want to reconstitute is like, this is some Thrive chicken, and reconstituted. This is really good. Making like chicken salad sandwiches, for example. If you can do something like that, you can reconstitute it and everything. But a lot of times what I do is I just grab a fistful and throw it into the pot. And,
it's very good too.
That's how I cook a lot of my freeze-dried food. What's Linda asking?
That's what she was asking. Did you say that there were supposed to be 3 servings?
Yeah,
1 cup is 8 ounces. And
Yeah.
it is really 1 full serving of a casserole type meal. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So 1 cup.
And
Now,
Charlene from Baltimore.
hey, Charlene. I know me, and these meals are strictly emergency meals. They aren't meant to sustain you or anything. It's basically have some food to eat, because I'm someone who believes in doubling the amount and everything, because in a SHTF situation or a zombie apocalypse, people, I mean, you're going to be hungry because you're doing a lot of work. You may be doing a lot of walking or bike riding or
building shelters
or doing something. And so you're going to be burning the calories. And so even though these are somewhat carb rich and somewhat high in calories, there isn't really enough there to really help you in a true SHTF situation. These bags, I would say, are more for on the run or on the go, so that you can get out of Dodge and at least you have some sort of food that you can make and everything. I could actually see, doing one of these bags. For 1 bag for 2 people would really fill you up for 1 meal. Or 1 bag would actually give you 2 really good full meals. So basically a cup and a half of the product. So a lot of times people don't look at the caloric intake, and a lot of calories. People count calories. I don't count calories, because in the beginning I was counting calories and things, and I noticed that realistically that the calories were way far below. So I've always doubled or even tripled, recipes and everything, because you're going to be out there working, you're going to be out maybe doing gardening or hunting and fishing, or, whatever. You're going to be under a lot of stress. And, you may be searching for wood or something like that to keep a fire going and everything. I
We
mean,
watch Naked and Afraid, in case you can't tell.
yeah, watch Naked and Afraid. I mean,
It
this
will change your life watching this. It
it
has mine.
it will give you some serious insight. And I watch a lot of these, or to hear a lot of these people, because I've been in a lot of groups and everything, who are talking, oh, we're going to bug out to the woods. And no, you're going to go bug out in the woods and die, because the only difference between you and Naked and Afraid is that you got clothes on and gear. And even then, that, if you're just going somewhere out in the woods, you're planning on bugging out, and that's your plan and everything like that, you don't know animal patterns, you don't know, the flora and fauna, you don't know a lot of things. And it's kind of like, again, watching Naked and Afraid, because these guys are being dropped into somewhere and they have no idea where they're going to be dropped into. And I mean, they do, but they don't. And you're just, you know, within 7 days and stuff, they're starting to finally, 7 to 10 days, they're finally getting used to the area. And if you watch the show, you see them, they are not successful in getting food. And just in a 21-day challenge, they've dropped, 20, 25 pounds.
A lot of times.
And so, and then some of these XL challenges that are 40 and 60 days long, they've dropped a lot of weight. And like one of the ones we're watching right now is the one down, I think it's the Ecuadorian Amazon.
It's in the Amazon,
yes. Yeah. And because it's a 60-day challenge, they are working hard to try to eat every day. And so they're still losing weight. I mean, they're eating bugs, they're eating plants,
caterpillars,
they're doing,
slugs,
all
grubs,
kinds of snails,
grubs. Ooh.
And they're happy if they catch one fish. And it's like, oh my God, we caught a fish.
I'd be like, what are you going to eat?
Yeah. So, when you're looking at your survival foods and everything, I really highly recommend it. People are saying, oh, to have a certain amount of calories, double that, because you need to realistically have good meals and everything.
Energy.
And then also it's going to motivate you. And, if you don't have food, if you're not motivated, or if you did just buy rice and beans, like there's a lot of people out there that's done and think they've got it handled, it's, you're gonna get,
pretty tired of rice and beans.
What is it called? Food. Oh, food. Oh.
I can't think of it.
Yeah.
My brain just started.
Yeah, we just, brain dead. What is it when you food fatigue? And so if you're just eating rice and beans all the time, you're going to start getting food fatigue to the point where you're just not going, oh God, rice and beans again. So that's why variety is so very important. And one of the wonderful things about, a lot of these freeze-dried foods is that you can get variety. Now, I'm a big fan of Thrive, and
Thrive has really good food.
I've been really actually I've been one of their first Thrive consultants. I've been with Thrive since almost day one, since they had the ability to do it on the web. And I still get my Thrive. I still I'm a consultant and everything. And if anybody's out there, this is a great side hustle, folks, because people need to eat. Now, Thrive Food is on the expensive side, but their food is excellent. And so if you're looking for a side hustle, contact me later. I'll tell you more about it. Or you can just go to thrivelife.com/Mhor, Mhor, and learn more about it as well. But Thrive is a great company. I've been involved with them for a very long time, and I totally believe in the food. And then another company that I totally believe in, and I don't have one of their cans here, doggone it, August Farms.
Oh, let me get you one.
Huh?
I mean, I'll get you one because I need to get my drink.
Yeah. So August Farms is a really good brand, and that's what we're going to also be taste testing tonight. Upper far at the end, I think there's a black bean mix.
I see it.
Yeah, I need to crack open that black bean mix and show some recipes with that.
One next week.
Maybe, yeah, it's a good idea. my wife is saying, let's maybe crack it open and do it next week. So yeah, we will. That's a good idea. But I've had black bean mix before. I really like it. She hasn't had it yet. And you can either make the patties, or what I like to do is actually mix beef with it and augment it.
Here's my favorite one you can show too.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Cynthia loves jalapenos, and the Thrive jalapenos are really, really good. But Augustin Farms black bean mix. But the thing about Augustin Farms is that you can get some crazy sales on Amazon. And the thing is, though, these sales only last 24 to 48 hours. So if you're really serious about getting, survival food, really keep an eye on those sales and everything. In fact, what I have done, because how I track the sales, is I've created a page on my website. And so you can go to raymondmhor.com/shop. And you can get there, and that's my Augustin Farms page that I use. So I thought, since I'm using it and this is how I track sales, this is a great thing to do as well. And and then also any food that you buy, I do make a pittance and all that other junk. I am an Amazon affiliate, so they make me say that and everything. So none of the cost gets passed on to you. It's all passed on from the company. But Augustin Farms and Thrive Life. And so I'm super excited about trying the 4 Patriots. And, it is, when we were cooking it, I have to admit, it was smelling good. And in fact, Cynthia even mentioned that too, that, wow, it smells good in home. So, but so what I thought we'd do here, at least first, is let's try the August. I mean, this is.
Are you gonna tell me which one it is?
Huh? Well, just try it.
Is this the augmented one, or is this
just
the regular one? Just added water to this?
Yeah.
Yum. It's
and
creamy.
That's the difference between survival food and camping food. A lot of people love Mountain House, but Mountain House is camping food. What's the difference is that camping food is step intensive. You got to add this, stir this, boil that, add that, and everything. Where survival food is add water and mix it up and eat.
That's very good.
So this is the 4 Patriot.
It's 4 Patriot. That's very good.
Then here, let's see if you can see that. That's 4 Patriot. It does have some carrots and peas in it. And it looks like it's got some herbs and everything. Smidge runny. You can see.
I like that, though.
It's a smidge runny. Is it toothy at all?
No, it's really very good. I really like it.
It's a smidge. It's got some good gravy. If you're looking for it, here. So it's got some good gravy to it. Good consistency. Good taste.
That's really good for just adding water to it.
Yeah. Good
Hot
taste.
water?
No, you just let it boil.
Okay.
That's what you do, is you boil up the water. And what I did is, it calls for 5 cups of water. So I split it. So I did 2.5 cups of water per pot, as well as, I believe, 7.5 ounces of product. And that's how I split it up. But
it's very good.
Sauce is good. I mean, here's a pea. I don't know if you can see it. And it's got some carrots.
Our dog's over here wanting some now.
But
it's very good.
My beef with it is that it's kind of on the liquidy side. Now, this may be due to the fact that maybe I didn't cook it long enough, or I didn't let it sit long enough.
I'll add some more.
Yeah.
See how it goes. I don't mind the runniness. I like the gravy in it.
So is this something that you could survive off of?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this for dinner tonight.
Wait till you try the augmented one. But other things, and this is something talking.
I'm surprised at how good this is. I really am surprised at how good it is. That's all. I'm gonna sit here and eat the rest of it.
Don't eat it all. You got two other bowls to try. But this is something I wanted to share with you too. And this is why I love dehydrating. And this is my go-to go-to jar. This one is pretty much full now. I can maybe stick a little bit more stuff in it. But what we do is anytime I have anything that is not greasy or oily, and I throw it in my dehydrator and then throw it in the jar instead of sticking it in your refrigerator and turning it into a science experiment, mystery food and everything. What I do is I dehydrate it and I just throw those little bits in, because a lot of people, when you eat like beans or corn or potato, whatever, you always have a little bit left over, and sometimes it's just not enough to bother to put away. And so a lot of people just throw it away, whereas what we do is I stick it in the dehydrator and then I just keep adding it to a jar. And I've got some meat in here. I've got there's some Brussels sprouts in here, tomatoes, and yeah, you can do your soup. There's some corn and everything. And what you do is this basically turns into a meal in a jar. And so when I finally seal this up and put it on a shelf, then I'll throw a couple bouillon cubes in here with it.
That's a good idea.
And then what you do is pour it in the pot, you fill the jar up with water and pour the water in, and basically it's a meal in the jar. And you can add more stuff to it or something if you want, if you got more things, or so you can augment it if you want to do that as well. But this is how I save money and not throw away and waste food. So this is, and you never know what you're going to get. These are all mystery jars because it's whatever we had in there and everything. But I don't know if you can see there's like some pieces of meat I've got in here that I've cut up, and, but with doing meat, what you really need to do too is do it at 150, make sure it's not greasy, 150, 160, and really get it hard. And that way, when it reconstitutes into a soup, you'll have a nice piece of meat.
We should do one of these some night.
Yeah.
Some Saturday night.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. See how the Mhor house does it.
Other things that I've done here. Oh, here. This is, I'll let you have some of this.
Is this our beef jerky?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I made this probably about 8 months ago.
It's good.
And so this again is, I superheated it so that it be super dry, and it's meant more for chopping up and adding into soup versus just being plain old beef jerky.
It has good flavor.
Yeah.
What'd you put in it?
I forget. I marinated it in something, but
very good.
But this is something that what you can do is, if you have extra meat or anything like that, do it for 160 and 8 hours or so. So that's like really crunchy. Is that really crunchy and hard?
It is. And if you do keto, this would be a good snack.
Yeah. And so you do that and just cut them up.
You're holding out on me with all this food we got down here. Yum.
But other things, again, I'm a big fan of Thrive.
The Thrive corn is really good too.
Yeah, and you can eat the corn right out of the can. It's very, very sweet. So, any questions here?
No. Sherry Hicks is on our page. She goes, just add some bacon fat, like Granny used to.
Yeah,
and we do that a lot.
We always save our bacon grease. Yeah, always save that.
And it goes into everything.
So
can't do that much better than bacon grease.
But do you guys have any quick questions or anything? But what you want to do when you're cooking with freeze-dried food, one, I rarely reconstitute it. I always just add it to the pan. And so, for example, this.
Which one is this?
Now, this is this is my augmented Patriot. And so what I've got in here, I've got green beans, I got some mushrooms, I got some peas, I got some dehydrated onions.
Chicken?
I dumped a can of chicken in here, and in fact I dumped the can with the water in here, and you can see that it's really thickened up. Versus, where's the other one?
I put it away. You told me I couldn't eat it.
Yeah. So versus this one, you can see has got some soup to it or some gravy to it.
So this is augmented.
Yeah, this is the 4 Patriots, but it's augmented. So no gravy, very thick, Again, I put beans, mushrooms, onions. I should have put some corn in here too. A can of chicken, and what else? I took a picture of it. I'll post on my Facebook page what I actually put in it, and so that you guys can see it as well. But give this one a taste.
Gladly. So you used canned corn.
No, I didn't put any corn in it.
No, I'm sorry, not canned corn, canned chicken.
Canned chicken.
And you put the chicken juice in it when you...
Yeah. So the chicken juice helps flavor it even more.
Mm.
And...
Man, that's really good.
So what do you think of this one versus the plain?
Well, I like this one better, obviously. It has more stuff in it. I like the chicken in it. The chicken adds a really good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Is it nice and hearty?
I'm shocked how good this is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really shocked. That is really good.
Mm. Dinner?
Mm-hmm. Have one more bite.
So let me see what I think of it. Now here again,
it's not real salty, and I like that.
You can't. Let's see here. There's very little gravy because a lot of these freeze-dried foods have already absorbed all the extra liquids, and so all of these are freeze-dried beans, freeze-dried mushrooms, dehydrated onions, and freeze-dried peas. So, and then a can of corn. But
I put some jalapenos in it.
These veggies helped absorb up even more of the moisture. So that's why it's kind of thick and let's give it a try.
Very good.
Mm.
See, it's not salty. Some of these prepackaged foods are so salty. They just this is really tasty. Really tasty.
That's really good.
It's really good. This is good, and that's even better.
Yeah, that canned chicken really adds to it.
It adds protein to it.
Yeah,
too. A good bit of protein.
But this is outstanding. And again, I didn't measure anything. I just basically took handfuls out of my cans and threw it in there. And this is one of the positives about cooking and learning to cook with freeze-dried and dehydrated food. You open a can of beans, or you open a can of corn, or you open a can of whatever, you got to use that whole can. Whereas with, this, you only use maybe a sprinkle of corn or something. You don't need to open up a whole can of corn or anything.
So there's no waste.
No waste.
Right.
You're using what you need. And excuse me.
That's good. Did you swallow wrong?
Swallowed wrong.
You tickled.
Yeah. But this is outstanding. I've got to give some kudos to the four Patriot. And
I'm very surprised. That is very good.
But you can see it's just, let me zoom up here.
Here, compare the two. You can see without the.
So this one, you can see it's got more gravy. This one has more gravy to it. You can see where this one has got
more of a meal.
More of a meal.
Yeah,
and
it's actually more of a meal. This is very tasty, though.
So, but that canned chicken really adds a lot of flavor. And again, I just dumped the whole can with the liquid, and all that liquid and everything is also being absorbed into the rice and a lot of the freeze-dried vegetables.
Use tuna?
You could use tuna if you want.
Good with it? If you like tuna casseroles.
Yeah, you could use tuna in this.
Tuna hot dish.
Yeah, tuna hot dish
from Minnesota.
You could use, any meat basically. Spam, do that. You could even use hot dogs. Cut up hot dogs or something in this. So it's very versatile, and that's what I like to do when I'm doing my survival cooking, is augment. And so I'm always adding to and trying to improve it and everything. So, but
spam would make it salty.
Depending on which spam that you would have. I have a lot of the low sodium spam. And in fact, for breakfast this morning, I had some of their bacon spam.
And you didn't even share with me.
And that really isn't very salty at all. I was rather surprised. And so it's
Is there dairy in this?
Is there dairy in this?
That's a
Good
good
question.
question.
Let's see.
And also, Holly would like to know what type of food dehydrator you recommend.
Excalibur all the way. And in fact, I'll put a link later, or maybe you can look up the link or something.
I don't have the link. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Oh, I
But
had it from last week.
I'll put up a link, and there's a sale going on right now for Excalibur for $184 or $189. Jump on it. And I don't know when the prices are going to go up, but get it, because normally that model is either 224 or 236, all the way up to 225. And so do you have last year's?
That was
last
last show.
shows?
I don't have Excalibur on it.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. But we get that, jump on that sale, because I don't know when that price is going to jump back up. And Excalibur's,
just post a link
yeah.
when the show's
At the end
over.
of the show, I'll post a link to it
Just
and everything.
click on that link and it'll take you right to it.
Yeah. But if you purchase from me, I will get a little pittance of the sale. So please
cow
use.
Dairy?
Pardon?
Cow
Oh,
dairy.
I forgot to look. Sorry.
I don't have my old lady glasses with me.
Ingredients. It's all like real.
They have lactose intolerance in their family. Joan does.
Let's see here. It does say it has creamer, but it's palm oil, maltodextrin, and so it's like coffee creamer in there. I'm not seeing any powdered milk or anything like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing any dairy per se.
Good.
Yeah. They do have a lot of, I find it interesting that they have iron, niacin, and thiamine at the top of the list. So it does have some vitamins and everything like that in here.
Oh, good. Michael Eversberg just said he now has an Excalibur and he plans to start using it soon.
Awesome, Michael.
Is there whey in it? Yeah. I don't think there's whey.
There is okay, contains milk and soy.
Okay,
excuse me.
That's
at the very bottom.
Because they have it in the same factory.
And so it's because it's at the very, very bottom means that it's probably minuscule in the amount. Otherwise, it has to be listed in the ingredients
I think
itself.
they have to do that if they have that in the same facility, like peanuts, milk, things like that. People that have excruciatingly bad allergies to it.
And then the Augustin Farms. Let's see if the Augustin Farms has got. The Augustin Farms also contains milk and soy, but again, it's at the very bottom. So it's pretty much almost the same. It's almost the same ingredients. Yeah. So so it's almost a good apples for apples comparison. But so overall, what are your taste? What are you pulling taste wise? What are some tastes that are?
I just like the creaminess of it.
Think Chopped or something, or what are you pulling out of there? We watched a lot of Chopped also.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cooking
food shows and
food shows and survival shows. That's what our watching entertainment is.
I like the rice in it. It's very good rice. It's not gummy whatsoever.
The rice is parboiled, so it's kind of like instant rice. It's rice that's been cooked and then dehydrated or freeze dried.
It's very good. I like that one better just simply because it has the chicken flavor. That one has much more flavor than this.
Yeah. Well, that's because I added a lot more to it. So
this is pretty good for just out of the box.
Yeah.
Out of the bag.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are saying, hey, why don't I just go down and get some Mhors and, store those in your pantry? You can do that for the short term. And I say short term being, 7 years. So whereas a lot of these quote unquote survival food products, they are packaged. What they do is they suck all the oxygen out. They usually shoot it with some nitrogen. And then also they put an oxygen absorber in it. So that is what is going to make these things shelf stable versus because these are good for up to 20 years, 25 years. Where if you get Knorr or Rice-A-Roni or whatever, some of these other packages and everything, they'll probably be good up to 7 years. But eventually, some of those actually have fats in them, and it will start to go rancid. And so if you're going to be doing something like that, I would really highly recommend boiling your own rice, dehydrate it, and make your own, basically rice mixtures and everything if you don't want to buy the survival food, and then add some good oxygen absorbers to it.
Very important.
So, and then keep away from the fats, have no fats in it or anything at all. But
what happens if there's fat in it?
Fats go rancid.
Okay. So
and
it'll go rancid.
It'll rot. It'll ruin it.
It'll rot.
So you want to really stay away from fats and everything. And in fact, in my book, I'm teaching, I write about, powdered eggs, how to make your own powdered eggs. And there's 2 methods of doing it. And there's just to crack the egg, put it in the tray and dehydrate it that way. Or what I like better is to actually cook your food in a nonstick pan with 0 grease. And then make scrambled eggs, and then put the scrambled eggs, chop them up really fine and everything, spread it out on your dehydrator tray, and dehydrate it at 165 for at least 8 hours. And then you run it through your food processor, powder it up, and you got some powdered eggs. Now you can also do the other way, and I have no problem doing raw eggs, but you do run that slight risk of possible food poisoning or something, because everybody freaks out about eggs and eggs and chicken. So, but you're ready for the third one?
Yes.
Okay, where's your spoon?
My spoon's right here.
Okay, now this is the Augustin Farms. Here, give me the let's do a comparison of the two, so you can see the two. You can see
there's quite a bit of difference.
For Patriot, Augustin Farms.
Augustin Farms doesn't have any carrots in it.
It doesn't have any vegetables in it. You can see the herbs and everything, but you can see the herbs and stuff in this. So there's peas and carrots in the For Patriot, where there isn't any in the Augustin Farms.
We do have prettier bowls.
Yeah. Now, Augustin Farms, I think, is thicker. It isn't as soupy or gravy as the For Patriot. It's thicker. So thicker means, for me, sticks to your belly. So what do you think of this one?
This one is much thicker.
Yeah.
Let's see how it tastes. It's good too. It's not salty either.
Where I've tried,
I like this one too. It's very creamy, but it's not runny.
And this is why I stay away from Wise or Provident Pantry, and there's a number of companies that actually pull from Provident Pantry, and get some of that. But I find Provident Pantry to be very salty, and Wise, I think Wise does get from Provident Pantry. I'm not sure, but a lot of those ones are very salty. Where so far I've been impressed with the For Patriot. And
this is very good too. Now, if you did this and added all the other stuff to it, that'd be excellent also.
This probably has some sort of thickening agent or gelatinizing agent.
Yeah, it's much thicker.
It's much thicker. It almost has a little bit of a gelatinous, not big, but a thicker. So it tells me that maybe they have something like a thickener or something that makes
make it stick to your
almost pudding consistency.
Kind of like tapioca pudding.
Yeah, this is almost kind of like a tapioca pudding.
The consistency of
it.
It's very good though. And I'm real sensitive to salt, and I like the fact that it's not just killing me with salt.
This is good.
It's very good.
It's
I think
it's flavorful. It's sticks to the tongue. Has a good bite. It's a
good mouthfeel.
Good mouthfeel.
Good mouthfeel.
Where that one, to me, the For Patriot, seemed a little runny. I like to have a good mouthfeel, and Augustin Farms, to me, has a good. Let me have.
I prefer this one.
Let me try this.
I prefer this one over that one.
Yeah. See, I think the Augustin Farms.
I like this one.
That one is a little too runny. It's almost like rice and milk, or if you have ever had like what is that dessert or something? Rice
milk and like cinnamon and
yeah,
sugar.
that it kind of is that consistency. Where this is kind of the consistency of tapioca. And so
if you were really hungry, you would want that one. But I like this one better. So we're kind of divided. We were divided home on this.
But really good. Excuse me.
And they said it's genius to cook the eggs before dehydrating. It is a good idea.
So my vote, I think if I would augment the Augustin Farms, and again, this is just creamy chicken rice. If I would augment this, I think this would be a killer dish. Where augmenting the Four Patriots, this is still good. And it's, but it's the veggies, the freeze-dried foods and everything that I added to this that make it thicker. Where just out of the bag, the Four Patriot, you can see it's kind of runny, soupy, that milky rice consistency and things. And so I like more consistent, thicker sort of foods, kind of like make it stick to your belly. And
you definitely would want that one if you were really hungry.
Yeah, I'm liking the Augustin Farms. They're both very good, but I'm liking the Augustin Farms a little bit more just because it's more hardy.
That's a good word for it. It's hardier.
Yeah, it's hardier.
That's a good word for it.
And so I like those. So I'm a big fan of the Augustin Farms. And what I can do is I can post some links to the Augustin Farms, just creamy chicken rice. I think they kind of have a sale going on for that. I think it's like something like $18 a can or something. But I'll post a link to that, and then also
this one too.
I'll post links to all the products that we're talking about tonight.
It'd be fun to have somebody else out there do a side by side and see what they think.
Yeah, but again, we're here's something else that I dug out of the can. Fiji apples. Here, since we've eaten some rice, have a little bit of dessert. Now, this is here, as you can see, this is because we've got oxygen absorbers in here. When you put oxygen absorbers in your cans or your jars, excuse me, now I got the burps, I'm so sorry. It will, suck the oxygen out, but it also vacuum seals the bag or the jar. So you heard that. Here's a Fiji apple.
I love Fiji apples.
So, but this is something that we dehydrated back in August.
That's really good.
But you could make pies with this. You could make cobblers with this and everything. With something like this, you would want to probably reconstitute it. But I would also reconstitute this in something like a sugar water or create a solution or something, maybe some cinnamon, some sugar, and some hot water, and reconstitute these and make a cobbler, make maybe really applesauce, or make a pie or something. But again, these are something I've done in my Excalibur.
I should do those for Sarah as a snack.
Yeah,
she'd love those.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is that when you see foods on sale, especially coming into these days that we're living in, is if you see something on, that's why I did these, because these Fiji apples were on sale. So I bought several bags of them and processed them and dehydrated them. And so now we've got some Fiji apples, hanging out. But look for sales. Like one time, and in fact, this right here, these are dehydrated tomatoes. And what I do at times, these are just straight tomatoes. You want one?
No, thank you. I'm really getting full.
But other times what I'll do is I'll dehydrate these and put spices and everything and make tomato chips. And they really pop. They're really good. Or what you could take this, once you dehydrate, is run this through your food processor and make tomato powder. And with that tomato powder, you can make ketchup, you can make pasta sauce, or other things. But I'm a big fan of dehydrating tomatoes. But I got these on sale. There was a sale going on Roma tomatoes. So I picked up, probably 10, 15 pounds of tomatoes, cut them up, dehydrate them. And I've got several jars now of, or bottles, or whatever you want to call these, of dehydrated tomatoes. And again, I've got oxygen absorbers in here to keep them fresh, keep them hard, keep them crispy. And these will stay for quite some time.
Joan said she likes to dehydrate the apples sprinkled with cinnamon and nutmeg in her Excalibur.
Great idea.
That's a good idea to put the spices in and then dehydrate them. And then Larry wanted to know, do we have our own freeze dryer?
No, we don't.
We don't have a freeze dryer.
No, freeze drying, that's a luxury. I mean, it's nice,
very
and
expensive,
they're $3,000 to $5,000. And I've been dehydrating now for over 20 years. And so I love my dehydrator, and I would rather dehydrate. You're getting the same benefit as, the only difference is, for example, these are bell peppers. You can see I've been getting into these quite a bit because I love cooking with dehydrated bell peppers. But they've got sharp edges, and you can put your food in mason jars, which I always recommend. But some people use Mylar bags for freeze-dried food and everything, and then vacuum seal it.
Oh, okay. So
the sharp points poke or create micro pinholes in the Mylar bags.
I can see that.
And so that's the only benefit that I really see in freeze drying, is that you're not going to have a lot of the sharp pointy ends, where dehydrated food has sharp pointy ends. Now, also with freeze-dried food, you just get the taste of the food itself, where with a lot of the dehydrated food, it seems to concentrate the flavor. And so the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions, everything I've dehydrated
Peaches
have more of a pop, more of a very more deeper, richer flavor versus freeze-dried. And that's an experiment you can try someday, is try some dehydrated food versus the freeze-dried food. So, but I'm a big fan of just the dehydrator, because I've been using it for over 20 years and love it. And you get the same
always
benefit.
Going with something in it.
And it's, you're getting the same benefit. You're able to get shelf-stable food that's going to last 20 years. This is shelf-stable right here. That is not going to go bad or anything. I've got it with oxygen absorbers and everything like that. And it's going to stay, shelf stable. And so this will last quite a few years. And, same thing with freeze drying. So I think as much as, people rave about freeze drying, now the only thing that I would really dig about a freeze dryer is making space ice cream or ice cream bars. Freeze drying ice cream bars are really good, so that's some of those things would be cool to have. I can't really dehydrate an ice cream bar, but I do like my dehydrator, and I think a dehydrator is a great way to go, especially the Excalibur right now that it's on sale for what, $189, $184, something like that. And highly worth it. And you can basically do anything you can in a dehydrator that you can do with a freeze dryer. And so personally, what I would do is, instead of spending the $3,000 to $5,000 for a freeze dryer, get a couple dehydrators, really work those, and then use that extra money for buying more food, or buying some gear or some other things that you need for your preps. And so, but I think freeze dryers, the cost, they're so new on the market. Give them about another 10 years, the price will probably start dropping down. But right now, they're just, I don't see the benefit of spending $3,000 to $5,000 for something that I can do with my dehydrator.
So, Linda said, you ever dehydrated cabbage? It turns sweet, and she eats it in place of potato chips.
Yes.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. In fact, what we just did.
Yes, this is funny.
We dehydrated sauerkraut. And it's really good. And what I do with it is I then powder it, and I put it in a shaker jar. And
it's good on potatoes. It's good on everything.
Someone in one of our community members said, use it on French fries. It almost has a salt and vinegar taste to it.
It tastes like salt and vinegar potato chips.
And so you could do a salt and vinegar, but try dehydrating sauerkraut, and so you're getting that saltiness, you're getting that tart acidic flavor, and then also you're kind of getting a little bit of that cabbage flavor and everything. But it makes a great spice. I've already used it a couple times in just cooking some of my breakfasts. It gives it a good, nice tang and a nice bite. And what is it on chops? They always talk about you don't have any acid, and so you need more acid to to really bring out some of these more flavors and everything. But it's a good way to add some acid flavor, that little bit of bite to your food, and that's what livens up your tongue, and it gives you some good food variety. And this is why I'm a big fan of spices. I make a lot of my own spices. In fact, we just did more jalapenos the other day. And
wow, they're hot. He did it with the seeds and the fiber in.
Yeah,
they're really hot. They're really good.
But I did. I made her. She likes jalapeno powder, and so she puts jalapeno powder on everything. But this batch that I made was super, super hot because I didn't cut out the veins, and I left the seeds in too. And so
a little bit goes a long way. But it's very tasty. I like the fact that the freeze drying, the flavor is bolder.
Yeah,
you can really taste the flavors. We have another Scott in the room, John Campbell.
Hey, John.
He says he freeze dries Mars bars. There's nothing we Scots won't do with a Mars bar.
Oh heavens, yes. So, speaking about John Campbell, John is. I'm going to try to get an interview with John Campbell. John Campbell is the CEO. John, what's the name of your company again? I totally forget. But John has come up with a great water catch system, and it's a way to get water from basically anywhere.
A still?
And it's a still.
E-S-T-I-L.
Yeah, E-still.
E-still.
And so what I want to do is bring John on and interview him and talk about, he's getting ready to ramp up production, but talking and stuff. But he's got the E-still, and it'd be fun to learn more about his product. But from what I can see, do me a favor, John, put your website.
An emergency still.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Do me a favor, John, put your website so people can check out your website and everything too. But it's a cool looking product, and you put it over stuff, and it's a solar still basically, and it connects to a catch, catch bottle or a catch bag. And so that you can basically get water from anywhere. So, but we're going to be bringing John on the show someday soon here. But yeah, no problem there, John. So thanks for the mention. Yep.
The Grinch.
Hey, Grinch, how you doing, bud?
I like how the Grinch got his name too. So he said chipotle powder is the best. Smoky flavor shines. Anything powdered, I think, really comes through.
Yeah.
Dale, hello. Sorry, late again. That's okay, Dale.
Hey, Dale.
Glad to have you here.
But when you dehydrate, and this is what I was talking about with dehydrating versus freeze dried, dehydrating always seems to concentrate the flavors, and they just really pop. Where freeze drying doesn't. I mean, you get the flavors and everything; they're good, but try dehydrating, some of your fruits and stuff, and then try freeze drying. You'll notice that there's more of a pop flavor, and it just pops. And like tomatoes, try freeze dried tomatoes versus dehydrated tomatoes, and you'll notice the difference big time. And just because dehydrated foods to me have a bigger, more concentrated flavor, because they're just better. And again, I'm biased because I've been dehydrating for 20 years here now and everything.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
When you did the sauerkraut, did you drain the liquids out?
Yeah.
So you just put the cabbage itself. You drained it as much as you could through a strainer.
Yeah. Okay. Now I didn't press it and really get all the juice out because I wanted that juice's flavor. So what I did do is I just strained it, let it sit for a little bit, and then put it on the tray, smoothed it out evenly and everything, and dehydrated it that way. And then I dehydrated it at 125, where normally if you want to keep the nutritional value and possible probiotics of the sauerkraut, I would maybe do it at 110. Now, because I was doing it at 125, I wanted it that little more crispiness, a little bit more almost a char flavor. It kind of has a slight smoky taste. I did some green onions at 125, and those turned out great. They had a very good umami flavor to it, and a little bit of that smoky char. Same thing with the sauerkraut, because I used at the temp of 125. It had a slight smokiness, whereas if you would just do it, let's say at 110, it would probably maintain more of a whitish color, where when I brought it out of the dehydrator, it had more of a tan color or a brownish color.
It's brown.
And so, and I think it's, just from maybe cooking, but I wasn't making it for eating purposes. I was making it for spice purposes. So a lot of my spices and everything, what I do is I dry it at a little bit higher temperature so that it just brings out and makes those flavors really, really pop. So
HT6 has been cooking maple sap all day.
Oh, cool, dude.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah. I did maple season. I've been seeing several people in the groups and some of the groups I'm in and everything.
So when you cook maple sap, does that turn into
syrup?
Mm-hmm. Like right out of the tree?
Yeah. When it comes out of the tree, it's a liquid, and almost like a water. You can drink it. It's kind of like a sugary water taste. But what you do with the maple sap is that you boil it down, and then it gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and it turns into maple syrup.
Holy cow! Do we have any maple trees big enough around us?
We might. I don't know. But it hasn't been cold enough. It hasn't been cold enough here. It hasn't
been cold here at all.
Yeah.
This winter.
So we may get some snow tonight.
HT6, where are you living? I don't remember where you said
Salem.
You live. We're in Salem. I was asking HT6 where he lives.
Oh, okay.
Because he has been doing it all day.
Yeah.
It's great to drink fresh. So good for you. But yes, syrup, 40 gallons gives you 1 gallon. Wow, 40 gallons of
liquid.
Gives you one. He's in God's country.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Minnesota, so you're in God's country.
But anybody have any questions or anything like that? I guess the big takeaways is do not reconstitute your freeze-dried foods. Just throw it right into the pot with what you're cooking, and just the moisture and everything will reconstitute itself, unless you are doing something with like meat. And so, for example, this is chicken, freeze-dried chicken, and say you're making chicken salad sandwiches. You would want to reconstitute that. And what I would do, actually, because I've done this before, is reconstitute it in chicken broth. Do a low sodium chicken broth, and it turns out really, really good. So you can use water, or you could even maybe do a bouillon cube and reconstitute it with that and everything. But it will add so much more flavor to the chicken. Same thing with beef, same thing with pork and everything. Try to, do something like a beef broth or a vegetable broth or chicken broth or something, and reconstitute it in that. Make sure it's kind of low sodium so that you won't get that over saltiness and stuff. But otherwise, for a lot of the other veggies and everything, so for example, jalapenos, all I do is I just throw these right in. These are great in eggs. And when I'm cooking my eggs, I take a fistful, throw them in there, stir them in, and just the cooking process of the eggs and everything reconstitutes the veggies. And so when you're cooking with veggies and everything, think about just whatever it is you're cooking with, throw them in. Don't reconstitute it because you're going to lose a lot of the flavor. And
when I'm making eggs, I put the bacon grease in and then add the jalapenos to the bacon grease.
Mm-hmm.
And then add the bell peppers and the green onions and everything else.
You can do that. Yeah, these
are very good, and they're not super spicy.
They're not spicy.
They're flavorful.
Yeah, and again, this is Thrive.
Yeah, they're not spicy. They're flavorful.
Yeah, I'm showing you a lot of my Thrive cans.
The jalapeno powder that he made from fresh dehydrated jalapenos is major spicy.
Yeah, lights you up.
It will light you up, but it's also very tasty.
What did John ask a question?
Jones said, how thin do you slice the meats for dehydrated?
What you want to do is slice it to about 1/8 to just under a quarter. If you're going to do a 1/4 inch, it's going to take longer for your meat to dehydrate, where I find that 1/8 is really good, and makes some good jerky and everything. And excuse me.
Goodness, allergies.
Yeah, we got allergies going here. She's been getting
Even I've had allergies.
So, but I slice my meat about 1/8-ish. And then here's another tip is if you put your meat in the freezer and put it in a Ziploc bag, get some of these freezer Ziploc bags and then put it in the freezer and pull it out in about 45 minutes to an hour. And then you can get some really nice slices that way because the meat is firm enough to slice and give you some clean slices and everything. Keep the Ziploc bag, because then once you slice all your meat, throw it back into the Ziploc bag, and then whatever marinade or anything that you're making, then pour it right into the Ziploc bag, kind of like suck all the air out of it. Use a straw or push the air out or however it is. Put it in your refrigerator, and then you just turn your bags, and it will marinate really well. So I'm a big fan of using Ziploc bags, the freezer Ziploc bags, the 1 gallon freezer Ziploc bags, for making my jerky and when I'm marinating stuff and everything. And another point is that when you marinate in a bowl, you're taking up room in your refrigerator. And then also we have a marinating, made by Tupperware. We have this marinating tray.
I didn't like it
because it's a tray that
it's like from the 70s.
Yeah.
I think.
And you can flip it and everything, but I just like the Ziploc bags because I can then massage it and do all those other things and really get those flavors in and mix the meat up and all that other stuff. So I'm a big fan of using the freezer Ziploc bags to marinate my jerky or when I'm marinating anything.
John said consider heat seal bags rather than Ziplocs. You can recut and reuse them repeatedly.
We wash our Ziploc bags.
We do. We wash them with really hot soapy water.
Yeah.
Dawn.
We wash ours.
Unless they've had grease in them.
Yeah.
If they've had grease, we don't.
Yeah.
If they have like chips or apples or whatever.
But we do. We wash a lot of our Ziploc bags.
Yeah, I can't throw them away. It's just a waste.
Yeah. So.
And then Linda says, what do you marinate the meat with or in?
I am putting together
HT6 washes his baggies too.
I am actually writing a dehydrating book. And so this book, I'm hoping to have it come out next month.
What's the name of it? It's got
name is, this is the name that we were, Hints, Tips, Tricks, and Bizarre Recipes for Your Dehydrator.
Who came up with a great name like that?
Yeah,
I did.
Using your dehydrator for the ultimate purpose. And so that's the working title of my new book here. And
I never do anything clever, so I was proud of myself because that was kind of clever.
But a lot of the recipes are unusual. And so, for example, hibiscus. In Central America, we had a lot of hibiscus, and because I lived in Central America for a number of years. But a hibiscus jerky, which will give you kind of that fruity, tangy jerky taste. Other ones are, pineapple or teriyaki. And so using pineapple juice or pineapple itself, and then papaya. And papaya, and this is something that I learned when I was living in Central America, meat tenderizer is made from the enzymes of papaya.
I found that out last night.
And so in Central America, what they do is the cattle is Brahma, and so it's a pretty tough piece of meat, and then they don't age their meat at all. And so a lot of the people that down there either get somewhat of a green papaya and emulsify it, and then add their spices and stuff to that emulsification and put their meat in that. It'll totally tenderize your meat, and you'll get some really great, because that's what I used to do is, using the papaya pulp and tenderize it. And if you use a ripe papaya, then it'll give it more of a sweet flavor. And you can, try this if you're really looking for that Hawaiian tropical, flavor or something like that. Put some papaya and pineapple, crush it up, use crushed pineapple out of the can, and then also use papaya. I mean, you can use fresh pineapple too, but I've always used
Does pineapple break it down too?
Yeah, pineapple has some enzymes, but the papaya is what really has the enzymes. So
I didn't know that until we bought some meat, and he put meat tenderizer on it and made the comment that it had papaya in it. And I'm like, I had no clue papaya would break down.
I forget the chemical that they use, which is the papaya enzyme, another name for the papaya enzyme. But Lowry's, I was at the store, about a month ago, and I was looking at meat tenderizers, and Lowry's actually has less of this enzyme versus the Kroger's. A lot of meat tenderizers have a lot of salt, and so Lowry's had more salt versus the papaya enzyme, where the Kroger's brand, off-brand, had more papaya enzyme and less salt. So if you're using meat tenderizers or anything like that, which I highly recommend if you're doing jerky and everything as well, is to look on the back, and you'll see some chemical name. That chemical name is
You want me to Google it?
The papaya enzyme. No, that's okay.
Okay.
But
and Linda said you and I work really well together.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I think
we should.
We should.
So,
and H says I use picked capers or pickled juice. Break stuff. So that breaks down meats too. That's a good idea.
Yeah, the salt and vinegar.
Yep, capers or pickled juice.
Yeah, that would break it down too.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a
real good
flavor.
Tang, yeah.
That's something too, is that you can.
Can you dehydrate pickles?
That's just what I was getting ready to say.
Serious?
You can dehydrate pickles as well as pickle juice, and those are really both good spices. And so dehydrated pickles make a great treat or a great snack. And what you want to do is just get the sliced pickles in the jar, lay them out, dehydrate them, and then you can eat them like chips. They're kind of addictive, but save the pickle juice. And I have, and I'll put a link to this is a silicone tray, and they're rubber silicone, but they have a lip about that big. And what you can do then is pour all your liquid stuff in there, and it doesn't slosh around or anything in your dehydrator, so you don't get your dehydrator all messy or anything like that. But it will, you can dehydrate your eggs liquidy that way if you want to, if you choose to dehydrate your eggs that way, or juices. So
we did
pickle
juice, didn't we one time?
Yeah, we did pineapple juice. We did, but pickle juice does really good. But with the pickle juice, what you want to do is grind it up and use it as a salt. And so really good on beer. So rim your glass with beer with pickle salt.
Pickle salt.
Yeah, but you can make your own, and it's got a really good flavor. But yeah, do that. But pickles are a great thing. I would say almost
dehydrated water.
Yeah, one time.
That's funny.
But instead, I found that just buying a can of it was a lot easier
than dehydrating the water.
Yeah. So y'all seen those cans? I think
that's funny.
Bernstein was an old freeze-dried or dehydrated company. It was Bernstein or Bergens or something like that. My dad actually was a salesperson for that. So we used to, again, why we know I know about dehydrated food, but my dad used to be a salesperson for that. And so he used to give away these cans of dehydrated water.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. But
good humor. I needed a good laugh. Thank you.
Yeah.
I read today that a 4-year-old child laughs 400 times in one day, and an adult laughs 4 times in one day. That really makes you think, doesn't it? We need to laugh more.
Yes, we do.
We sure do.
Yep.
So thank you, Linda, for the giggle.
Well,
they sell dehydrated cans of water. Yeah. Michael Carroll.
Any questions or anything like that? We're sitting now at 1 hour and 7 minutes.
We're over.
Yeah.
We're over an hour.
But I really appreciate you guys coming in here. I really appreciate, the comments and everything. You guys have been doing a lot of great comments and stuff. So I just thank you so much for taking the time and hanging out with us on this Saturday Night Live.
It's fun. I get to learn a lot on here.
Yep. And then if you are new here, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and share, and then ring that little bell so that you get notified when I post up new videos. And then also for all our community, I just want to thank you guys so much. You guys are the greatest. And, so we see Larry, we see Joan, we see Linda, we see John, we see HT6. Who are some of them? We see Michael. Who else is Dale?
Dale, John Campbell, the Grinch.
Yeah.
So
you guys, we really appreciate you guys coming back. We're starting to get to know your names and everything. So it's like, hey, John, hey, Grinch, hey, Dale. So, but yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Do me a favor. I was rather surprised. Debbie, yes. Debbie Roush.
Hit that like button.
Yeah. I posted yesterday's video asking what you guys thought. And I don't know if I was shadow banned or not, because normally in a 24-hour period, I get about 175 to 250 views. This video only did 53 views. And I'm just wondering, I don't know, maybe it was something in my keywords or something, or is it because maybe For Patriot was one of YouTube's advertisers or something? I don't know. but it seemed that that video really didn't get much traffic. And I'm just wondering, did you guys watch that video? And is this why you're here tonight? Or did you see my meme? And,
Linda said she watched the video.
Okay.
And HT6 is Heather.
Okay.
So now we know her name.
Oh, okay. Heather's her.
Yeah, HT6 is Heather.
Okay, Heather, nice to meet you. And so I don't know. It was rather shocking to me that, and I thought that people would really enjoy hearing about a this or that comparison and everything like that. But it only had 53 views, so I'm just wondering, did that video somehow get shadow banned or dropped lower or something? And so I'd be really interested. How did you hear about tonight's show or something? Besides being one of our regular community members and things. So. But other than that, anything else?
Oh, Debbie says she puts boiled eggs in her leftover pickle juice.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Pickled eggs.
Yeah.
Pickled eggs.
I think my grandmother used to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pickled eggs.
Yeah. Linda says she watched the video. Debbie watched it. Joan saw the video. Michael saw the video. Mm-hmm. You guys are great.
Yeah, thank you. So.
Thank you.
But I was just kind of surprised. It really, wow, man, that didn't get very many views. So also, I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you like it when I do live shows during the week? Because I'm really working hard at putting out videos Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I don't have a set time yet. I'm still working on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then once I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday and got that locked in, I'm going to try to set a time and really try to set a time that would be good for you guys to see it. So do you like my live videos when I do them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Just pop in and say, hey guys, how you doing? Here's what's going on. Or do you like the videos where, like I did yesterday, and I just shot it off my phone and then uploaded it and threw a thumbnail onto it and things. So let me know what you think. Do you like my live videos better, or do you like my pre-recorded videos and things? So what's
Linda's sweet. She says people need to hit the like button and leave a comment so YouTube promotes your videos and shared also. Debbie says I have so many that go live. I can't watch them all at the same time, so I like to watch them when she sets the time. And Linda says she likes both. And Dino says she doesn't know, or he doesn't know.
First time watcher. Welcome, Dino. Welcome to the community.
And Christine likes the live videos better.
Okay.
So maybe just mix it up.
Yeah, I'll just try mixing it up a little bit and everything. I like the lives because I can just turn my phone on, boom, and I can do it and things where there's no uploading and some of the other things. I mean, I've got Camtasia, and I can, I'll start doing some more of those videos as well, so you can start seeing newspaper clippings or some of the other stuff. Another thing, join my Telegram group. It's the Kilted Prepper News on Telegram, and I'll put the links in the description below after the show. But join that. I've been sending out some pretty pertinent information. You're hearing about the Silicon Valley Bank. I pushed that out last night, probably about 6 or 7 o'clock, and was already pushing that out. I was already pushing out the whole Wells Fargo thing about the same time. And I'm noticing that I'm able to get news out to you guys faster, where then the mainstream media and Fox News and so forth are about 24 hours behind. So if news is important to you and you need that news fix, then get on my Telegram group, and I will, start sending out news. I also sent out in the middle of the week, silver dropped below the $20 mark, and it stayed there for about 24 hours. So those are things like that I'll send out to you folks, so that you can take advantage of those, save some pennies on adding to your stacks and things. But
we're all for saving money.
With the whole Silicon Valley thing, we've been seeing gold and silver start to creep back up again and things. So kind of keep an eye on that. And if you're a Wells Fargo person, kind of keep an eye on what's going on there with Wells Fargo. They've been having some computer glitches and money not showing up in people's accounts and things like that. So not very good.
Not very good.
No, not very good. I used to be a customer of theirs. I left. I didn't like it. So what other things?
Linda said she joined our Telegram, so that was nice.
Thank you, Linda.
Larry Denny must be the Tennessee prepper. He likes them both. Heather says Kilted Prepper News. I was going to ask you on that too.
Yeah.
What is Kilted Prepper News? You mentioned that, but I don't know what.
The Kilted Prepper, it's on Telegram. And so if you go to some of my other videos, you'll see how my follow me links. And one of them is how to sign up for my Telegram.
Okay.
Telegram is an app, and it's a great app. It's encrypted. They're all about privacy. They're all about, keeping it free, so you're not getting bombarded with ads or anything like that. And
is it kind of like
it's kind of like the equivalent of WhatsApp.
Okay.
And so you can use the free version, and they also have a new version that you can subscribe to and everything. But it's becoming the de facto.
Is it the Kilted Prepper?
At the Kilted Prepper.
At the Kilted Prepper.
Yeah, or the Kilted Prepper, or it's called Kilted Prepper News, I think is what it's called. I forget.
Can you post that when we're
here? Hold on one second here.
Heather's looking right now.
Give me a second, Heather. 1 second. Let me bring it up here. And it's called The Kilted Prepper News. The Kilted Prepper News.
4 words.
Yeah.
Spaces in between.
And you got to download the Telegram app and look up The Kilted Prepper News. And so that'll get you there. But so anytime.
Post the chicken one.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's mine. So check that out. And then also get on my newsletter, because after I zapped things out to my Telegram group, I sent out an email, a breaking news email on the whole SVB and Wells Fargo thing and stuff, as well as some recommendations or some ideas of what you may want to do and things like that. So those are the ways of staying in contact with me or getting on my news stuff. Because for me, I'm kind of a news junkie, and I want to stay ahead of what's going on. And in fact, Canadian Prepper reported on it today, and then mainstream media also reported on the day. There was a hacked commercial that played in parts of Russia showing that they were under a nuclear attack. It was saying, go to the bunkers, take your iodine pills, blah, 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 and everything. So I zapped that out almost instantly without is it true? Is it not? We don't know. But if anything does happen, it's going to be popping up on Telegram, and then I'm going to be zapping it out to you. With the whole Ohio thing, the whole Ohio derailment, I was zapping that out to my guys on Telegram, about an hour after it took place.
And the news didn't cover it.
Yeah. So, get on my Telegram if news is important to you, staying on top of this, because if any situation does take place where we need to activate our preps, then news is important. And I'd really try not to, throw a lot of stuff at you or anything, but it's news that I think that is important to kind of stay ahead of and everything. So do that, get on my newsletter, and then also buy my books. This is a great book here, the Quick Start Guide. Very thin, really very easy, very thick, tons of information. And speaking now, especially of the banking issue and everything, this is Survive the Coming Storm, the poor man's guide to preserving your wealth in an economic collapse. And so I present a lot of information in this book for a lot of people. A lot of people don't have 401ks or retirements, or their savings aren't very big, but how do you preserve your wealth and everything? So I talk a lot, and I cover a lot about precious metals here. And then those of you worried about home security, this is a book that I wrote, and I learned a lot when I was living in Central America, where you're not allowed to own a gun. And so swords, spears, knives, blowguns, sharp, pointy, stabby things, throwy things became my friend, and I became very proficient with these tools. And so I talk a lot about how to really secure your home. I'm a big fan of window film. I'm a big fan of door jams. I'm a big fan of early warning devices. And maybe that's what we need to do a show on, is early warning, how to do your, do some home security show and give you some ideas. But I talk a lot about that in this book. But get them on Amazon. And what I will do, and I meant to put together some special links for my Kilted Prepper Insiders for a book special. But what I'm going to do is do a book special and order the book from me. I'll autograph it, and then I'm going to throw some other cool gear in with that too. I think I got a credit card knife and some P38s or the P something else, and some other, cool little gear that you can get with the book.
Did you know that Rudy is taking a break from YouTube until the beginning of April?
No, Alaska Prepper. I was wondering.
Said.
I was wondering where Rudy was, man.
Yeah.
Especially with this stuff going on and everything. So hopefully Rudy's okay, and
hopefully
Rudy. Hope if you're watching this, get well, or we're gonna miss you, bud. So no, I didn't know that. Wow.
We'll have to figure out what's going on with him.
Yeah.
I hope all is okay.
Yeah. So, but prayers to Rudy. Mm-hmm. Rudy the Alaska Prepper.
Let's hope that he's taking it off just for a sabbatical.
Yeah, maybe a sabbatical. Yeah. So
go watch his last live stream. He says it there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Linda. So, anything else we need to talk about?
No, but I'm full now. I don't want any more dinner.
It was really good.
It was really good, though.
Yeah. I like this the best. This was the 4 Patriot with augmented. And then, the Oxen Farms, I really like the Oxen Farms more than the 4 Patriot. She liked the 4 Patriot.
I like the 4 Patriot better than that one.
Than this one. This has more of a tapioca sort of consistency. That has more of a milky rice, sort of consistency.
I like that.
I liked this. So.
And neither one, excuse me for talking about mouthful.
What?
Neither one's overly salty.
No, yeah, neither one was very salty.
Which is really encouraging because I can't do salt either.
Yeah. So, but very good. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. Did you enjoy doing this?
I did. I like it, especially when you feed me when we're sitting here. So, can't go wrong with that. The child is in bed. The dogs are in their kennels, and we're getting to sit here and eat unencumbered with children or food or dogs.
Well, everybody watches us eat.
Yeah.
So.
No, as I'm talking with my mouth full.
Yeah. So this was a lot of fun tonight. I really appreciate you guys stopping in, hanging out with us for this time period and everything. Again, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. And then thanks to the community. And we're doing another show next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And you're going to get with John about his water
And then, John, contact me. Let's set up a time so we can do a Zoom and do a video of your product there. And then if there's anybody else out there that is involved in the prepper arena or has products or anything, contact me and let's get you on get you on the show. Let's help get your. I got no problem sharing the screen. So
okay, what instead of bacon grease, what can you use instead of bacon grease if you have problems with gout?
Try
butter would not be good.
No, gout. Grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil.
Try grapeseed oil, avocado oil. There's a product out there if you're into keto or something. MCT oil.
MCT oil is
or
very
coconut
good.
Oil. Those coconut oil.
Yeah. Linda said coconut oil.
Yeah, these
suet. Can you use suet?
I don't know.
I just always think woodpeckers when I see suet.
Yeah, but
coconut oil, yes.
Try those. So grapeseed oil, and then avocado oil. Avocado oil may have too much fats in it, and it may affect you. But then MCT oil. And then coconut oil.
Tell about MCT oil.
MCT, MCT is, I forget the name, what the acronym of MCT, but it's a derivative of coconut oil. And grapeseed oil, avocado oil, MCT oil, all feed the liver and will also help feed the brain. And so like every morning,
energy boost,
it gives you energy boosts and everything. Where vegetable oil, canola oil, some of these other processed oils. I mean, how many vegetables out there that you've picked raw feel oily? So that should give you some ideas that they process the crap out of that to get oil from all these things. So, but these oils, grapeseed, avocado, coconut, MCT, all feed the liver, all feed the brain. And so it doesn't linger in the body or anything like that. It's used up as energy. And that's kind of part of the keto diet.
Yeah, you do that every morning with your coffee, don't you?
I make a bulletproof coffee every morning where I use MCT oil, butter, with heavy whipping cream, and and then monk fruit to make it sweet. And gives me a lot of energy. But try those oils and see if that helps and things. But let
us know how that works for you.
Yeah.
All right, we should probably get off.
Yep. So anything else?
7:30.
Yep.
No, I just said I love you.
Okay, I love you too, sweetie. So I'm Raymond Mhor.
I'm Cynthia.
We'll see you. Goodbye. God bless. And kilt on.
Kilt on, and God bless. All right. That was